Hey Sass Squad, I know it's been a minute since I posted any GBL videos in regard to Season 11. I've just been really busy with traveling over the last month when I went to Ohio and then that trip I had with my family earlier in the month. Also, I've been playing a little casual this season just from all the traveling as well. But yeah, this format, Kanto Cup, is the Wild West. But I did actually end up recently hitting Veteran in this season in the Kanto Cup, and I wanted to show the team that I used. I happen to be running a team that I saw from another battler, Howardgarwong. He's a GBL battler and a local SoCal battler as well. I know him in person. I saw that he hit Legend recently. Congratulations also, by the way, man. And I saw he was running this team and I wanted to try it out, so I was running this a few nights and I end up hitting Veteran with this team. So here's the set that got me Veteran. Alright, so in this very first battle here, we end up getting the Shadow Nidoqueen lead, which is pretty good because we are leading Lapras with Skull Bash. And we do end up switching into Machamp here on the Snorlax. And we are actually running Payback. This is the moveset that Howard was running, is Payback on the Machamp and Skull Bash on Lapras. And honestly, the Payback is pretty clutch in a lot of scenarios where people don't shield with Hypno. It even does a decent amount of damage to Nidoqueen if they don't shield. But yeah, so we're just gonna throw the cross chop. They did a good call there, the superpower, and not give me as much farm down. But we're gonna bring in Lapras. They end up having the rat in the back, and this is kind of rough being the dark type because it's a little bulky and it kind of threatens our Alone Raichu a bit here. So we have to kind of navigate through this perfectly. So I'm going to build up to the I'm going to build up to the Skull Bash and bait with the Surf. We do get a shield that way, but now I'm getting the defense drop. I have to switch out, so we are going to try our best to commit I think we actually we are just going to take this, and I'm going to just try to get off one attack. I definitely should have just went for the Wild Charge, but I just got a little nervous about like what was going on there. I end up coming back in, catching the Nidoqueen with a Surf. We are going to have to commit a shield. This is actually pretty clutch that we have all this energy on Lapras because this will be enough to get rid of the Nidoqueen, and then all we really have to do is farm down with Ice Shard and we are able to pull off the win. So really insane first battle here. GG's to that trainer. In the next battle we do end up getting a lone Sandslash lead, which is not too bad. If it's running Gyro Ball, that's a different question. But the thing is, most people have not been running that move. I have definitely seen it being run, but most people are running Bulldoze. And we end up trying to catch the tail end of that Sandslash with our Machamp, but now we are stuck facing the Shadow Nidoqueen, which is kind of tough, but we're going to go for the Payback here. And as you see, they do not shield, and we could win the switch there, which is amazing to see. We are going to just bring in our Lone Raichu in on the Blastoise. Makes the most sense here, knowing that Volt Switch will rack up a lot of damage and we can threaten with Thunder Punches. We are definitely going to shield a Hydro Cannon and continue to do our... we knew they were going to try to switch out because we knew they had energy on this Sandslash. So we end up making a great call to just kind of switch, and they switched as well. So we're just going to take two Bulldozes to the face because we know we can take them. Then I'm going to throw a Surf to either get a shield or remove the Sandslash. More than likely they're not going to shield. And now it's pretty good. It's more than likely not possible for them to get to two Hydro Cannons here, even though they do have a little bit of a farm. We are going to be able to actually just Volt Switch down at this point. So GG's to them. Really tough run so far. So I actually know this guy. I've faced him before in Like, amazing battler. But we get a bad lead with their Shadow Machamp, so I'm going to safe swap into my Machamp to try to mirror their Machamp. They actually switch into Dugong, and I'm assuming the reasoning being is they didn't have a great switch in for this. So they want to preserve the Machamp, knowing it does really good against Lapras. Maybe Dugong isn't going to do the best against my Lapras. Probably a really good call there, honestly. They end up coming back in. I have some energy built up. We are going to throw the cross chop, but because of the attack debuff, they knew they can tank that cross chop a little easier. I am going to bring in the Raichu here, but this is where I make some fatal mistakes. I don't want to... I should have shielded this. I was thinking it would be a cross chop, but not only did I not shield the rock slide, but I also didn't use any of my energy, which you'll kind of see how close this match ends up being, where if I would have at least thrown the move, even if I didn't make the right call on the shield, if I would have at least thrown a move here, this could have been a lot different. But will I win? Will I not? We'll find out here. This is actually not the worst matchup for Lapras against the Alolan Muck. We can definitely pressure our damage with Surf, of course. But yeah, they're gonna commit a shield here. We are gonna get to Surf, but the thing is, this won't knock out. They'll have a little bit of health. They're gonna go off a Sludge Wave. We will live the Sludge Wave, but then it's more about how will we be able to farm down the Machamp fast enough. We tie with the Machamp, so unfortunately we lose because the Muck had 1 HP in the back line. But you can see what I'm trying to say. If I would have at least thrown the energy with Raichu there, that would have been pretty good for us. But this next match, we have a pretty bad lead with Primeape. And honestly, it's a really tough switch in because Night Slash still is threatening. I have to bring in Machamp. They end up having Pidgeot, which is just really brutal for us. I'm just gonna not shield, knowing that I can at least take a Brave Bird, but they end up going for Feather Dance. And at this point, I'm gonna commit 1 shield, thinking that they were probably gonna want to throw a Brave Bird at this point. And we do end up throwing 1 Wild Charge here because I want to try to waste the timer a bit. I switch into Lapras and in comes the Primeape. This is kind of brutal. I mean, kind of tough there with the attack debuff. We can't really do as much damage to Hypno as we want to with Raichu. And this Primeape is just such a threat to this line, I feel. It's just so spammy. You know, it just does a lot of output of damage. And unfortunately here, it just has the Night Slashes stored, so it's just pretty much game at this point. Like, I can't really do much. Like, I could try to throw a move. It's not really going to matter. They could shield. They're going to outpace at this point. Well played. GG to the trainer. So here's our next battle. As you can tell, this is actually a really insane set. So we get a Nidoqueen lead, really good for us. They switch into Lickitung. We want to try to switch into Machamp as fast as we can to avoid getting hit with too many body slams here. I try my best just to, like, preserve my shields in these type of scenarios when they switch to a normal type. And yeah, we can just kind of farm down at this point and have a little bit of energy to spare. They'll probably come back in with Nidoqueen, but we're going to try to go just for a payback here. And, you know, it's like 50-50 if they'll shield. Sometimes they don't because most of the time they resist the moveset, right? But payback does do a lot of damage here. And we're going to wait the timer, we're going to bring in Lapras, and they end up having Shadow Snorlax. So we're going to just throw Surf here, knowing that, like, damage is damage here, it's a Shadow Pokemon. And now I'm going to bring in Raichu. I was, like, trying to, like, catch a move, but it did not work in my favor. I'm going to just kind of, like, throw a Thunder Punch. I mean, at this point, the Snorlax is so low on health, they're probably not going to even shield. And they're going to kind of leave it up to the Nidoqueen, which kind of isn't going to work out with the Ice Shard damage. So I was actually really surprised this set got me Veteran, by the way. I wasn't even expecting it to. I was just kind of playing it out, recording some battles. And yeah, it ended up giving me Veteran. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. But yeah, like, really interesting team. I really like the Raichu when we don't get trapped in with the Nidoqueen of any sort. But yeah, really cool team, Howard. And it was really cool that you shared it on Twitter. GG's again to all the battlers. And with that being said, the Sass Squad is getting strong each and every day. But good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you tune in. I'll catch you in the next one.